Good early morning, everybody. This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading on November 2nd, 2024. I hope everybody's doing well. I just wanted to give you a quick update. Well, the little prank, at the county road on the edge of my neighbor's property on the easement opposite my driveway, that direct TV dish was gone this morning. Evidently, it was a prank. But anyway, either way, it wasn't a funny prank, and I took it as a threat, and I've got lots of photos of it, and I'm just adding it to my evidence pile, and I appreciate everybody that contacted me about it, because what I did was I sent it around to a list of 160 names on my targeted friends list. And some people gave me some really interesting feedback, like contacting the FCC, finding out if other neighbors have their dishes pointed towards my house, and things of that nature. So if this ever happens to you, contact me, and I'll let you know the information that I was given. I obviously don't want to give it all out right now. I was going to read something else tonight, this morning, but I just received an article from a friend in New Jersey, and targeting comes in many forms, and we live in a rat snitch society, and people will snitch on you for the stupidest reasons, but it doesn't really matter because they do it to gain control over a person. They do it because they're envious or jealous. They do it because maybe you're receiving more attention. They do it because you're kinder than they are. And that's pretty much what this story is about. And I actually have followed this person before. So this is the article. It's in the New York Times. After 7 years, Peanut the squirrel is taken away and then put down. Possession of wildlife is generally prohibited in New York State, even of Peanut, who had 500,000 followers on Instagram. And let me show you Peanut, just so you know. Let me show you. That's the little Peanut. Let me just scroll down here. This is published October 31, 2024, and it was updated November 1, 2024 by Victor Mather and Jesus Jimenez. Peanut, a pet squirrel with a popular Instagram page, was seized by state government officials on Wednesday in Pine City, New York, and later euthanized to test for rabies. And for the record, for anybody that doesn't know this, the only way they can test for rabies is by unaliving the animal and doing some unthinkable things. So that's the only way they can determine through tests. But obviously, if an animal is rabid, you can see it. A rabid animal is not going to be able to live inside somebody's home for 7 years, okay? So anyway, let's move forward here before I get really pissed off about this. So Peanut, a pet squirrel with a popular Instagram page, was seized by state government officials on Wednesday in Pine City, New York, and later euthanized to test for rabies. Like they have nothing effing better to do with taxpayer money. A raccoon, also taken from the same house, was euthanized as well, the state authorities said on Friday. The decision brought to an abrupt end a man's fight to keep the pets after Peanut had become somewhat of an internet celebrity. In a statement on Friday, the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, they're doing a good job conserving, huh? Said that the squirrel was euthanized to test for rabies after it bit someone, quote unquote, involved with the investigation. Oh, right. The raccoon was also euthanized to test for rabies, the department said. And like I said, the only way they can do it is by unaliving the animals. Mark Longo, 34, found Peanut 7 years ago in New York City. His mom was hit by a car as he was walking into a busy street in downtown Manhattan. Mr. Longo said in an interview, "He ended up crawling up my leg." Could you imagine? Little mama squirrel walking along with her little teeny baby, and just like the movie, wham, gets hit by a car and leaves her little baby there. The little baby's scared to death, and Mr. Longo just happened to be in the right place at the right time and saved that little baby squirrel. In an email on Friday, Mr. Longo said that he wanted to thank everyone who's fought and supported us. To the people who filed complaints, thank you for taking away the best part of me. Thank you for taking away my best friend, he said. Mr. Longo said the squirrel had been doing fine at his place. After some time, Mr. Longo's home in Pine City, Peanut was set free in the backyard. But he wound up being attacked by the other animals and losing half of his tail. Mr. Longo decided that Peanut was safer inside. The squirrel has his own room, and with Mr. Longo and his wife Daniela were at home, he would get full range of the house. He's 24/7 cage-free his entire life, said Mr. Longo, describing him as the most charismatic, sassy animal. It wasn't just the Longos who enjoyed Peanut's company. The internet fell in love. Mr. Longo said he posted photographs and videos on social media, and the squirrel amassed 500,000 followers on Instagram. A lot of jealous people out there, guys. But on Wednesday, officials from the Environmental Conservation Department showed up at the Longos' home in Pine City near Elmira in the southern tier of New York. Quote, following multiple reports from the public about the potentially unsafe housing of wildlife that could carry rabies and the illegal keeping of wildlife as pets, DEC conducted an investigation, unquote. Meanwhile, I've got thousands and thousands of dollars of vandalism on my property. Nobody's performing any kind of investigation here. Oh, but they have to worry about a 7-year-old squirrel whose mother was unalived in New York City, and the poor little baby was left without a mommy. Ran up Mr. Longo's leg. The department said in a statement on Thursday, DEC's investigation is ongoing, and additional information will be provided as it becomes available. Your tax dollars hard at work. I hope everybody in New York is writing letters to these losers about what they did. Not only did they unalive 2 healthy animals that had been taken care of their whole lives, but obviously it was generating some income, and the internet fell in love with these animals. And these animals lost their lives because of snitches, rat snitches in the neighborhood. Oh, they're just so concerned. They're so concerned about health issues. They're full of crap. Oh, but let's see how ongoing the investigation is and how much they're going to bilk the taxpayers to investigate a 7-year-old squirrel and a raccoon. Living indoors, the officers left with Peanut and the raccoon. Before the department announced that the squirrel had been put down, Mr. Longo said the officers ransacked my entire house. They made me sit outside for 5 hours, he said. They wouldn't even let me feed my horses. Let me show you this photo so you can all be pissed off about this. So this, they target people differently. Looks like Peanut is eating avocado. Yeah, it looks rabbit to me. Does it look rabbit to you? Mm-hmm. Lunchtime at Peanuts. The squirrel had been living with Mr. Longo for 7 years, since he found him in Manhattan. He was cuddly and lovable, Mr. Longo said. But he had the attitude of a celebrity. Peanut's favorite food was avocado, and he liked nibbling on hard-shelled black walnuts. Sounds very healthy to me. We have had Peanut for 7 years without a single complaint, Mr. Longo said. Now it's suddenly an issue? Noting Peanut's social media presence, he added, it's not like we're hiding him. Peanut was also the face and name of Peanuts Freedom Farm Animal Sanctuary, a nonprofit that Mr. Longo said he and his wife started in April. So he just started the nonprofit. Oh, and look how cute this is. He's wearing like a New York Mets hat. Okay, so look. The Longos, who own a social media company, contribute half. Listen to this. Half of the roughly $20,000 a month expenses to run the sanctuary, and donors supply the other half. He said that money was raised largely through Peanut's name and by attracting eyeballs with cute squirrel videos online. We've rescued over 300 animals in our sanctuary already, Mr. Longo said. Cats, dogs, horses, goats, sheep, donkeys, and pigs. But Mr. Longo fears fundraising will become more difficult without a star attraction. I don't know how I will make it without Peanut. The incident is reminiscent of one in Massachusetts earlier this month, when Neeby the beaver, who lived at a wildlife rescue, was threatened with seizure. Ultimately, Governor Maura Healey of Massachusetts stepped in and Neeby was allowed to stay. Mr. Longo said he was holding out hope. There are opportunities to file to get him back. We are people who follow the rules. On Instagram, he wrote, for the last 7 years, Peanut has been my best friend. He's been the center of my world in many hours for so long. I don't know how to process this emotionally. And that's the end of that story. So here you have another method for rat snitches to rat people out, right? So Peanut, a pet squirrel with a popular Instagram page, was seized by state government officials on Wednesday in Pine City, New York, and later euthanized to test for rabies. So there's no way that he can get the squirrel back. And they took the raccoon and euthanized that one as well. It sounds like a punishment to me. How would a rabid animal be able to live in somebody's house for 7 years? Let's think about this for a minute, folks. Have you ever seen a rabid animal? They're crazy. And they usually die from rabies. They usually die on their own. Oh, but this little teeny baby whose mommy was hit by a car and saved by this man, lived inside, had his own house outside, ate avocado and walnuts. You have any idea how expensive walnuts are, guys? But the state has to come in and unalive them. All because people started complaining. They took away his best friend. So for the people who file complaints, thank you for taking away the best part of me. Thank you for taking away my best friend, he said. And yeah, like the people around here that file complaints, oh, she's burning leaves in her fire pit. Well, we're allowed to burn leaves here. That's why it's a rural community. Oh, she threw trash in the county road. I can't drive by. That was Scarlet. And that was the trash that was dumped on my property. That had to be moved so that my landscaper could continue to cut. Because I was paying him by the hour. And since they were caught throwing trash on my driveway at midnight, you know, that dirty toilet paper in the bag, and then jumping out, trespassing. I don't know. It's quite the possibility that they're the ones that dumped the trash there, and it was all a setup. Right? So anyway, yeah, thanks to the people that file complaints. You unalived a squirrel, a healthy squirrel, a raccoon. These are pets. Mind your own damn business, you jealous effers. That's what I'm going to say. That's my editorial. That's my editorial edition. But I look forward to your questions and comments down below. Have you heard this story? Did anybody know about Peanut? I believe he was on TikTok also. Yeah, the squirrel had his own room. And he started a sanctuary. And he rescued all these animals. And he was donating the money that he raised through Peanut's account to rescue more of these animals. It's really a tragedy. It really is. What's this world coming to? But anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. And yes, the Hillbilly Mafia dish is gone. And thank you for all those people that did some research on the Hillbilly Mafia. There actually is a thing. Who would have thought? Right? So let me see if I could find it here. It wasn't just the Hillbilly Mafia. There was like some corn. Oh, here it is. The Hillbilly Mafia is sometimes used informally or colloquially to describe certain groups in rural areas with reputations for engaging in illegal or semi-legal activities. However, it isn't an official or widely recognized organized crime entity like the Italian Mafia or the cartels, nor does it signify a specific organization or network. Instead, it typically refers to loosely associated groups or individuals involved in activities that could range from drug trafficking to illegal gambling or quote-unquote rough justice enforcement in rural areas. Here's a breakdown of the term's meaning, possible associations, and legal considerations. There's no centralized organization. The term doesn't refer to a single organization, but rather a type of underground activity in rural regions, primarily in parts of Appalachia. Oh, really? Or the American South. In some areas, it has been used to describe those involved in illicit businesses, often related to the drug trade, like methamphetamine or prescription drugs. Community control or vigilantism. In certain places, people might refer to neighborhood groups that handle disputes, enforce rules, like their own rules, or respond to perceived injustices as a mafia or a mob. This may include informal vigilante actions, but these groups are not officially law enforcement. They just say that they're related to them. They're not generally associated with Freemasonry, though. They have a historical roots in many communities, but there's no link between Freemasonry and any hillbilly mafia group. Well, that's what they're saying. That's what AI told me. I don't believe it for a hot minute. Common activities and alleged criminality. Alleged drug trade and rural criminal groups sometimes focus on producing, distributing, and selling drugs like meth or marijuana. This is often a primary activity linked to the term hillbilly mafia. Theft, poaching, and illegal enterprises. There are other crimes that might be associated with this label, including illegal hunting, poaching, unlicensed alcohol sales, or fencing stolen goods. Oh, you mean like the ones that are stolen from my house? Community enforcers. In some cases, local groups may try to impose their own rules in the absence of or in response to limited law enforcement presence in rural areas. There are challenges in identification and prosecution. To identify suspected members, you have to collect credible evidence. It can be challenging. Well, not around here. They just give themselves away every day. I mean, there are people that I don't see, obviously, like the ones that are coming and going from my house. Those are higher ranking people. Focus on gathering any observable patterns, specific license plates, locations, behaviors, and other observable details without putting yourself at risk. Document the incidents and evidence. Keep a record of incidents, threats, or illegal activities that you've observed. Written notes, photos, recordings can be helpful, provided they're obtained legally and ethically. Then there's law enforcement collaboration. If you suspect criminal activities in your area, come on, AI. You can do better than this. I'll read what AI said. If you suspect criminal activities in your area, contact local law enforcement. In some cases, they may have knowledge of local activities, but lack first-hand reports to act on. I'm going to choke. I think, no. AI, we have to have a talk. I need to write you back about what you just wrote here. We have to have a talk about this. Seek out local authorities or legal support. Oh, yeah. Working with a lawyer. Oh, yeah, like our county lawyer. Yeah, who understands the local context, can guide you through reporting processes and ensure you know your rights. Yeah. Let's move on. Engaging law enforcement for prosecution. Oh, come on, AI. Oh my goodness, we need to update your protocol here. It says to report criminal activity anonymously. You can't do that because when you call, your number comes up on caller ID, and generally, if you block your number, they might not even take your call. Most areas offer anonymous tip lines where you can safely report illegal activities. Providing information to authorities without directly identifying yourself can help protect your privacy. Oh, yeah, we've got under 800 people here. Oh, come on. Gathering sufficient evidence. Law enforcement requires substantial evidence. Oh, yeah, I've provided more evidence out of the kazoo. To investigate a group or formally. If authorities are unresponsive, and they are, consulting with local, state, or even federal law enforcement, such as my favorite Bureau of Investigation, might be appropriate, especially if there's organized crime. Oh my goodness. They need to update this AI software. Pursuing civil action. If these activities impact you personally, like trespassing, property damage, you might consider legal action to protect your property or seek restitution through civil cases. Those civil cases can be more complex. So the term Hillbilly Mafia carries a lot of cultural weight, but doesn't specify an official criminal organization. To take action safely and effectively, gathering verifiable information and collaborating with local law enforcement can be prudent steps. I'm going to scratch that last sentence. For the targeted people out there, no. Your local law enforcement is not on your side. They're complicit, they're involved, and so is usually the county lawyer, the prosecutor, whoever it is. And even the attorney general may be complicit. So you really have to go higher up than that. But Your evidence can be incontrovertible. If you've got videotapes of your neighbors performing illegal activities, if you've got videos of them, and you've got license plates, feel free to post them online. We all want to know. In fact, we should create an online perp database. I think we should all anonymously or per state list all of the license plates, the photos of all the criminals that hate on us, the videos. We should have a central reporting for perp per state. What do you think? I would not know how to do something like that or how to organize it, but maybe all you tech savvy people out there. I mean, come on. They've got online databases in every city for the pedos, right? They've got that. I mean, my favorite beer of instigation has one for the domestic teas, but you and I are not on their list there. No, we're on the secret list. If you go to their website, you see who the real ones are. Yeah, there are about half a dozen of them. A half a dozen of them. Meanwhile, according to the ACLU, Trapped in a Black Box, Growing Terrorism Watch Listing and Everyday Policing in 2016, there were more than 900,000 people on those lists. But there are only about half a dozen photos posted on their website. It baffles the mind. But anyway, so Little Peanut the squirrel, if anybody's been following him, he's gone, and so is the raccoon, with your tax dollars, and it's still under investigation. You know why? Because it will come back when that guy FOIA requests them, files a lawsuit against them, and get the results of those rabies tests. They will come back negative. And I hope he sues them from here to kingdom come. But this is Lorraine. Alternative Homesteading. Please hit the thumbs up. It helps the channel grow, get the message out there. Please remember to subscribe and hit the notifications bell. People tell me that you're getting unsubscribed. Sometimes that will happen. You have to actually unsubscribe yourself, resubscribe, and then hit the notifications bell. And that should help. Leave your comments down below. And for the individual who wants to send me testimony, my email address is alternativehomesteading@gmail.com. It's on every one of my videos. It's in the description section. It's on my homepage for you to contact me. So you said that it was coming back as undeliverable. It's probably on your side. There's somebody blocking you from contacting me. So you might have to use a different email address. So I hope that helps. And please get the message out there and share if you feel inclined to do so. And if you live in New York State and you're inclined to contact these stupid wildlife people, do so.